Mr. S. Narsingh Rao, Chairman and Managing Director of Coal India, now joins us live from Kolkata. Mr. Rao, good morning. Thank you for joining us, and so glad you could join us on, during our anniversary week.
Hi, very glad to know that ET has completed 4 years. My hearty congratulations and best wishes for more prominent role in the Indian economy by ET now.
Right, Mr. Rao, the Finance Ministry has floated a draft cabinet note of 10% OFS for Coal India. But by when is the OFS from government expected?
As you know, this is essentially handled by the Department of Disinvestment in the Finance Ministry. The schedule, etc., is really to be determined by them. And also, since it is only the OFS, so there is not much of a groundwork needs to be done by the company. So we'll wait and see what exactly the schedule of the Ministry of Finance for this OFS.
Mr. Rao, have the labour issues related to the OFS been resolved in any talks that Coal India management has held with the labourers?
Yeah, we did have some discussions with them and requested them to not to insist on this strike, etc. As of now, they are saying basically all 5 recognized trade unions, they said, we oppose it strongly. That's what is their stand as of now.
Right. Mr. Rao, we understand that the company is planning to invest about $4 billion in 2 coal mines in Australia. How soon do you expect acquisitions to be completed? And would you like to share some more details on the quality of assets?
No, the timelines, it would be a bit difficult to say because they are only at the sort of, not preliminary, one stage after the preliminaries, only the stage of those proposals. So they need to go through various rigorous scrutinies and then some basic decision, then final decision. So it takes time and it is premature to say anything about both the conclusion of the deal and also the timelines.
Coal India, Mr. Rao, has asked non-power companies to buy at least 25% of high-grade coal to renew FSAs. But customers allege that prices for high-grade coal in India are steeper than international levels.
I don't think that would pose much of a problem to either us or to the consumers. Essentially, the non-power consumers require better grade coal. The cement, the sponge iron, particularly these 2 sectors, even the ceramics, etc., they need quite good quality coal. Alternatively, they basically import. Now, our price, recently we slashed it by 12% for the higher grade. This is quite, around 20% lower than the currently prevailing international prices. So I don't really see any difficulty in accepting this condition by those people.
Mr. Rao, coal stock at various power stations is at a 10-year high. Some power stations have asked Coal India to stop supply for now. Does that mean that Coal India inventory may rise in this quarter?
Not really. Yes, about 4 to 5 of our major consumers, like in Rajasthan, Gujarat, West Bengal, Haryana, they have requested us not to dispatch more coal. Some of them asked us to restrict to as minimum as possible and things like that. But that's okay. That's only one side of the issue. But there is still, generally there is a shortage in the country. Now, problem for us is, what is that posing a problem to us is, at the aggregate level there is a shortage, no doubt about that. But the kind of flexibility, suppose if Gujarat doesn't want to take tomorrow, unfortunately we don't have that kind of logistical flexibility that day after we can divert that coal to somebody else. Lots of rigidities are there in the system. That is what is posing a major challenge to us, and that is also the reason why in the last 1.5 months, one of the reasons is that our offtake is not as much as we would have loved it to be.
How's coal production panned out in May and June, and do you see some hurdles in the coming 1 or 2 months as monsoons have been heavier than estimated?
So far it has not affected us. The monsoon has not substantially affected us. This time some amount of rains are anyway expected, and our targets are also based on this kind of impacts one would expect in the monsoon season. But May we have had some bit of a more problem than expected, particularly the, very intense heat wave across all the coal fields. So as on today, we are about 2% growth, whereas our April was quite good, 5.8% growth was there in the month of April. But we are still confident. We are taking various measures and putting some systems in place so that, the momentum is maintained, and after rainy season, it picks up. So our target growth rate required for this year is 5.8%. I think we should be able to achieve that.
Have issues with NTPC being resolved and are the dues cleared, and by when do you expect the entire amount to be paid off?
There has been some change momentum in this quality issue. We sat across and discussed, and some method we found where it can be resolved. That's why, from last week of May, we resumed more or less normalcy in the coal supplies to NTPC power plants. But then the dues part is still to be resolved, but it is in the process of discussion between both of us.
And what are Coal India's plans for utilizing the surplus cash on the books?
Nothing very specific. Yeah, the dividend option or the special dividend option is always there, but that's a decision something board needs to take. About the capex, yes, we have tied up some good amount of capex, but again, compared to the kind of cash available with us, the 5,000 crores or 6,000 crores is not really very much. It is very much in terms of the spending capacity, but compared to, let's say, about 50-60,000 crore of kind of a cash we have, certainly we don't really have such specific plans which can result in utilization of any substantial portion of the kind of cash we have.